putting in the work even when you feel like it's going unnoticed or you're not seeing any development. And this can be in so many ways. It can be physical in terms of you're training really hard for something and you're not really seeing an improvement, or you're not seeing like an end result. You're not seeing what you kind of aimed for. Basically, you're not seeing that yet. um and even if you've been working on something for so much time, you still don't really see that goal. You haven't reached it, and maybe sometimes you're not even close. And I think more mentally, it can be like being happy, and like you can go, I think it's very possible to, even though you're trying so hard to do better and do so many things that allow you to become happy. And I'm not talking about buying stuff or getting with loads of people. I'm talking about genuine things that will actually guide you to be happy, and yet still you're not happy, you know. And I think this kind of um this kind of work that you do, um when you haven't reached that goal and you've done all this work, I think it's so easy for people to just like immediately give up, and also to feel quite, useless with themselves, like they're not good enough. Like all of a sudden, like I've tried so hard and I've not been enough. So clearly it's on me. And I think with this, it actually causes people, for all the progress they've made, to just deteriorate and maybe end up in a lower state to where they were in the beginning. And I guess this video is about your work never being unnoticed. And again, that sounds pretty stupid to say, because sometimes you're going to do something, maybe it's literally just doing a workout when you're tired, and you're just by yourself, and you might think, so how is that getting noticed? And that's getting noticed by you. You know, you're here the whole time, seeing you go through all this progress, seeing you try hard to aim to reach that goal that you've aimed for, or trying hard just to improve in any way, shape, or form, and trying hard to not feel or not be in a place that you are right now because you want to change. And I think people disregard like self-love so much sometimes, just because they feel like they're being arrogant, or they feel like they don't deserve it. And I think that stops people from seeing the progress they've made. Like, yes, maybe you haven't reached this goal of running a quick 5K time, but people forget to see, because they haven't reached that, the improvements that they've made in their running. Maybe they started at a 40-minute 5K and they were aiming for a 30-minute 5K, and they're at a 35-minute 5K, and all of a sudden they're really disappointed because they haven't reached the 30. And it's as simple as acknowledging your achievements. And when you do that, you're able to see, oh wow, look, maybe I'm not here yet, but I've made a lot of progress. And to disregard all of that progress because you haven't reached what you've specifically aimed for seems so pointless. And that is the only thing where that's the only time where your time is being wasted, not when you're putting in the work and trying so hard to improve yourself in any way, shape, or form. That is never a waste of time, because that will always do good for you. Maybe you've not hit the peak yet, but you're getting there, and that's so important. Saying I'm not doing well enough, I'm not doing good enough, and I'm never going to make it, that that is where you're wasting your time, and that is where you're so wrong. So yeah, if you are maybe in a process of, for example, maybe you have just uh, maybe you've just found yourself being really unhappy recently and you want to change that around, and you've started getting back into like hobbies that you really enjoy. You've started getting a better sleep schedule, and loads of stuff like that, loads of amazing stuff. And you're in a better sleep schedule now and you're taking up these hobbies, but you still don't feel as amazing as you thought, you're still doing better. And at one point, you are just gonna feel great again. And yeah, that's all I gotta say, to be honest. So I hope this kind of, I feel like maybe I'm waffling. I always feel like I'm just saying like bullshit, like none of it actually makes any sense. So I kind of hope that this video isn't bullshit and it hits people well enough, you know. Because yeah, I think it's important. Sorry that I don't think I explain things very well, but yeah.